Good morning and welcome to the July 3rd special meeting, rescheduled meeting, excuse me, of the Board of Commissioners. I'd like to begin, as is customary, with the observance of a moment of silence. Thank you. And as we rise to pledge the flag, please recall the sacrifices that are all part of our freedom that we'll celebrate tomorrow on July 4th. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public comment?
No.
Any of your friends? No, we're good. All right, look for approval of the minutes of our June 20th meeting and our June 19th workshop.
Motion, those minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Post same sign, so moved. Mrs. Nguyen, good morning.
On July 2nd and 3rd of $2,844,723.97. Brought us to a total cash of $8,166,534.28. Our expenditures this week were $5,668,618.11. Tax claim is $25,165.68, leaving us a balance of $2,472,750.49.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the treasurer's report as presented. Any questions? Yes.
I saw the banner outside your office for the hunting licenses. Have you always done that?
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know that.
always.
I'm fishing.
Yeah, and actually, the last couple of years, they did make changes. We always used to do the pink envelopes. Well, they did away with them now, and they sell them over the counter. And all of the agents throughout the whole county can sell their licenses now. So they made some changes, but yes, we always sold those, but not missing the pink envelopes.
Okay. Anything else? All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, so ordered. And your,
Do that. I got it this morning. They had an incorrect date in it.
okay,
So I talked to the attorneys and they're going to correct it and they'll do it at the next meeting.
all right.
It's to collect Gretna Borough's municipal taxes. So
Okay.
starting on the next year.
All right, Sally, have a good Fourth. Thank you.
You too.
Morning. Would like to introduce yourself and proceed.
Michelle Snavely, Director of Human Resources. Under Personnel Transactions, Resignations and Terminations, Derek Stolfoods, Caseworker 1, Children and Youth Resignation, effective June 25th. Mark Catherman, Caseworker 1, Children and Youth Termination, effective June 28th. Cynthia Hauk, Operations Tech in the Department of Emergency Services, Resignation, effective July 10th. Angelica Capas, Admin Assistant 1, Domestic Relations, Resignation, effective June 21st. Rachel Newmer, Office Support 2, Domestic Relations, Resignation, effective July 12th. Aiden Hine, Full-Time Correctional Officer at the jail, Resignation, effective June 19th. Christopher Romanello, Full-Time Correctional Officer at the jail, Resignation, effective June 18th. Santos Varela Jr., Full-Time Correctional Officer at the jail, Retirement, effective October 1st. Michelle Browse, Caseworker 2 at MHIDEI, rescind acceptance of offer of employment, effective July 8th. Jordan Nichols, Adult Probation Officer 1, Probation Services, resignation, effective July 3rd. And Tiffany Pierce, Full-Time Direct Support Aide at the Renova Center, job abandonment, effective June 22nd.
Make a motion to approve those resignations, terminations, and special note of the retirement of Santos Varela after service since 1988. Very impressive.
Second, and also kudos to Santos. Thank you for your service.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Not all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, so moved.
There are changes of status. transfers. Wayne, change of status from correctional officer at the jail to private first class at the jail at the rate of $22.71 per hour plus 65 cents per hour PFC pay effective July 7th.
Make a motion to accept the change for Lucas McCain.
Second.
Thought he was the rifleman.
Same.
Any discussion regarding this motion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, so moved.
Under other transactions, Area Agency on Aging would like to rehire Jessica Bedrera as Aging Care Manager 2 at the rate of $1,661.28 biweekly effective July 8th. Information Technology Services would like to hire Isaiah Gates as an IT tech at the rate of $1,732.62 biweekly effective July 15th. Planning would like to rehire Heather Klein as a Building Code Administrator 1 at the rate of $1,410.27 biweekly effective July 15th. Pathonetary Clerk of Courts would like to hire Carter Tobias as General Clerk C at the rate of $1,117.67 biweekly effective July 8th. Pathonetary Clerk of Courts would like to hire Philip Wagner as a part-time court clerk at the rate of $15.96 per hour effective July 8th. Pathonetary Clerk of Courts would like to hire Amy Schott as a General Clerk C at the rate of $1,117.67 biweekly effective July 8th. President Judge Towalk would like to hire Brianna Gresky as an Adult Probation Officer 1 at the rate of $1,866.86 biweekly effective July 15th. The Sheriff would like to rehire Christopher Romanello as a full-time Deputy Sheriff at the rate of $19.94 per hour effective July 8th. And the Sheriff would like to rehire Joseph Walsh as a full-time Deputy Sheriff at the rate of $19.94 per hour effective July 8th.
Motion to approve those other transactions.
Second.
Been seconded. Any questions regarding the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same sign, so moved.
Moving on to salary board, if there are no questions regarding the transactions presented, is there a motion to adopt these transactions onto the salary board?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those salary board transactions. Questions? Yes.
Just curious, I know from being at the prison board last month and, hearing the personnel transactions with regard to the jail. Are you sort of going back into a situation where you're down correctional officers and you need more boots on the ground?
To try to bring them in.
Is there any thought about having another one of these hiring expos?
She'll be in a minute,
Board.
but, board's here, but yeah, there are some things she's looking at in job fairs. Yep.
Getting
So,
creative.
On that.
Trying to be creative.
Thank you.
All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign, so moved. Thanks, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just introduce yourself and the floor is yours.
Tina Litz, warden at the Lebanon County Correctional Facility. Good morning. I'm here before you to talk about the 2024 county-based Vivitrol program grant that's being offered by the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. They have a total of $7.175 million in State Act 80 funds that they're putting out as an initiative. They're expecting 62 grants to be given. Lebanon County Correctional Facility would like your help in proceeding with applying for one. The amount designated for Lebanon County would be $106,892. The grant would cover dates October 1st, 2024 to end date September 30th, 2026. It's a non-competitive grant. There would be no match expectation. If we're able to proceed and get the grant, we would use those funds for our Vivitrol program. What we're understanding is, though our data may not indicate that we're using Vivitrol a lot, you may recall in 2019, we had a robust program going. Since then, and the introduction of the medical assistant treatment program, a lot of individuals' preference is not to go with Vivitrol. They're choosing to use some of the drugs that are offered through the MAP program. So with that being said, it's my understanding that potentially in legislation, there's an opportunity that may present to be able to, if we receive these funds, allocate these funds. And even though I don't have a strong Vivitrol population or ask for it at this time, we would be able to allocate those funds and move them towards the current medical assistant treatment program, as you know, from prison board has been expanding at great numbers.
Make a motion to approve the request for the Vivitrol program.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we move the request to apply for these funds.
Thank you.
Any questions?
You were talking that you're expanding those numbers. Can you give us an idea of what that looks like right now?
So we more than doubled the numbers of the medical assistant treatment program, which is Suboxone, the methadone program. So in a short period of time, what we're seeing in comparison with the community numbers is there's more of a driving force. There's more individuals that are apt to want to be on medical assistant treatment. You know, we learned that re-entry, we used to just think that it's like a process. We re-enter people into community. And what we're learning is it's a journey. So in an addicted person's recovery journey, what they're liking to have or preferences to have is to try and get ahead of what faces them on the street. So if we can set them up for success by allowing them to sustain their medical assistant treatment and enter into the community, what we're hoping is to be a participant in having those overdose numbers continue to decrease. I think at the last CJAB meeting, it was reported that the numbers were slightly down. Slightly might be 1 or 2 individuals, but those numbers are still a big deal to the community.
What is Vivitrol versus methadone or the other things?
So Vivitrol is an option. It's an opioid blocker. It also helps block somebody that has an alcohol addiction. So what it allows is somebody may use those particular narcotics, but it doesn't allow the feeling of being high. I'm not the expert on the other medical assistant treatment drugs, but my understanding is it's a safer version of the drug that's you know, approved and acceptable.
Is it a shot or a pill or what is it?
Vivitrol is a shot.
And am I understanding you correctly that there's legislation where you might be able to shift the Vivitrol funds towards some of the MAT drugs?
There's pending legislation, and yes, that's my understanding that, you know, like everything else, we have, I think somebody used the word unmandated fund, like unfunded mandates. You know, that's what we're trying to be proactive and be prepared to use those funds if and when that legislation gets approved and comes through.
Okay, anything else? Yes, Matt.
Can you talk about transition for these programs? Some people might not be finished or done with these programs as they're leaving the jail. Do you have a transition program set up for?
So we work with Prime Care Medical. They do a very good job with a handoff into the community. We work with Lebanon County Drug and Alcohol. They're a big part and stakeholder in the process. Sometimes people get paroled or they leave the jail and they're under supervision. County probation parole, they also help provide the resources. You know, Lebanon does have a plethora of drug and alcohol resources in the community that people can go to continue their counseling. We have the Lebanon County Treatment Center available for folks that are doing the reentry program in regards to the medical assistant treatment.
Okay, nothing else, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so move. Any other questions for the warden? Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth Redinger, and I am from the Medical Assistance Transportation Program through CAP. Medical assistance transportation is basically taking those people that qualify for the program, the main qualifier being on medical assistance insurance. We transport them to and from their medical appointments, and only the medical appointments that are billed to the Medicaid insurance. We transport all over the state of Pennsylvania. We actually go into Delaware. We have gone into Maryland. But it's anywhere where the consumer needs to go, and they schedule it through our office. We have an application program. They schedule through our office to be transported. For those that have vehicles, they are given mileage reimbursement. Right now, with the contracts that I am presenting for signature, the prices, or I should say, the cost did go up on most of the trips about $5. Some stayed the same as last year, but there are a majority that did go up $5.
So that's for 24, 25.
Yes, this is for the drivers for the 24-25 fiscal year contract.
And where are you? What is the reimbursement for those typically? They're
Um,
per trip is.
well, I mean, we have
But there's a
a list of them, but basically we have, for example, if you're in the city, it went from 30 to 35. If you're going to, Hershey, it went from 50 to 55. If you are going to one of the surrounding counties, Lancaster, that's 90, it was 85. Going to like York County was 110, it's now 115. Philly was 210, it's now 215. Pittsburgh was 505, it's now 510. And then there's some other, depending on if it's a same day transport, like a one-way trip or something like that.
Let's get a motion on the floor and
Motion to approve, the second presented.
Second,
then, I don't not necessarily want to go here, but those are finite funds provided to the county. And so if somebody's going to, can you give an example of why somebody would not be able to find healthcare needs resolved in Lebanon County or nearby county and have to go to Pittsburgh? What would be an example of it?
We are told that there are the doctors in Lebanon County, a lot of the doctors' offices either do not have the specialty that's needed so that we have to go to Pittsburgh or Philly, or there are doctors' offices that are no longer accepting Medicaid insurance.
Wow.
So depending on that, because we are to transport them to the closest doctor's office, to the closest provider. That's not always something we can do. We don't go to Pittsburgh frequently. We do go to Philadelphia, probably at least 2 or 3 times a week. As far as Delaware, we have not gone there in a while, but that was to Wilmington, Delaware. And we have gone to Maryland, but that hasn't been in a while, but that was to go to Johns Hopkins, I believe it was.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Would you say it's most likely a specialist more than? I mean, we're not going to Pittsburgh because a local doctor isn't taking Medicare.
correct.
I mean,
Correct.
Pittsburgh, those cities would be a specialist.
Would be a specialist. Like Philadelphia, we go a lot to CHOPS. There are other facilities in Philly that we go to, but CHOPS would be the main one.
Good, thanks, Ben. Yes,
So does your office, or does the patient like inform your office that they have an appointment at CHOP? And then you coordinate the transportation for them? Is that how that works?
What we do is they call in. We do require a minimum of 3 business days notice. But they call in. Hopefully they're already in the system where we take their application. And then we schedule it in our system. And then we schedule it with a driver. And then that driver will take them to the appointment.
Do they use does the driver have like a van, or do they use their car, or what?
The drivers are self-employed subcontractors for the county. They are using their own vehicles. And they are responsible for all the expenses that go with that vehicle. We are simply paying them to take somebody to and from the appointment.
So that reimbursement number, is that a round trip
That is a round
calculation?
trip. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you know, we had the warden here just a moment ago and, you know, I know from going to meetings at the prison board, a lot of the inmates are on Medicaid and like for their drug treatment and stuff,
No,
they would qualify.
no, they're not on Medicaid.
Oh, what, they're not?
No.
Stops when they go in jail.
Who's got?
Oh, okay,
That's, they go to prime care.
right, but then
County
they,
care, yeah.
but like if they, well, when they are paroled or when they get out, they might be eligible then, right? I mean, I just wondered if I just wondered if prison, like people that are in some relationship with the judicial system, if they would qualify for this program.
We do transport people to the London Treatment Center. They are picked up at their home, and taken there. As far as, there are some that I know have just gotten out of prison or recently got out of prison, and we are taking them because they do qualify. But for everyone that we transport that morning, we have to go into a system and see if everyone qualifies for the program that morning. Occasionally we have people that don't, that all of a sudden they came up ineligible for transportation, and then we have to cancel that run.
Any medical, excuse me, any medical transport for an inmate is done by the jail, the correctional officers, because they have to be accompanied.
Okay.
So.
Yes, Joe.
Quick question, I don't know who can answer this. The list has 27. One of them is looks like it's a company, Central Medical Ambulance Service. The other 26 look like private residents or subcontracting. Who's the insurance liability on? Is that on the county? Do they have to have their own insurance? How do you know that they don't have vehicle violation and they're not really a safe driver? How is that process vetted?
Okay, when they are brought on, they do have to have insurance. That is on the driver to get their insurance. As far as, I'm sorry, what was the other part?
Driving record.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yes, we do get, when we bring them on, we do a full driver's history. We do a criminal background and a child abuse clearance history. So, which the driver is responsible for. We don't pay for that. They are responsible to get that before they come in for an interview. So if there is an issue, then we wouldn't bring them on.
Do they have to have a certain model of car, like a certain year? I know like Uber and Lyft, you can only have like newer cars.
No, I mean, they do have to have them inspected and keep them up and everything, but no, we don't have a certain year.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved. Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
Final item. Ready?
Yeah.
I have disabled veteran real estate tax exemption requests for 4 individuals who qualify for the program. They are Zachary Moyer of Mount Wilson Road, Lebanon, Robert Weber of East Evergreen Road, Lebanon, Kevin Hostetter of Fairview Lane, Lebanon, and Linda Blair of Quarry Road, Lebanon.
Make a motion to approve the 100% disabled veterans as presented.
Second.
Okay, that's for real estate taxes. Any questions regarding the motion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, so moved. Motion to adjourn, oh, anything? Motion to adjourn. This assembly stands in adjournment.